The clever plan. One day a boy called Sunny came to a garden full of mango trees. But there was a guard guarding the trees. So, he thought of a plan. He went to the guard and asked him to play with him. The guard agreed. Sunny drew a circle around the guard and told him that if he stepped out, he would have to pay penalty. The guard stood inside the circle, and in the meantime Sunny climbed up a tree and plucked many mangoes. The guard saw it all but could do nothing. Soon, Sunny fled away with mangoes. The clever wolf. One day, a shepherd went to the pastures for grazing his sheep. He was looking after them, when suddenly he saw a wolf approaching him and his herd of animals. He got scared. But the wolf didn't do anything. He kept moving around the sheep as if to guard them. The shepherd thought that the wolf had changed with the time. Now he had become a vegetarian, so the shepherd gave him the responsibility of guarding his sheep and went to take a nap. When he woke up, he was shocked to see that the wolf had eaten all his sheep and had fled the scene. The dog and the thief. On a Sunday afternoon, Sunny's parents were not at home. He was feeling bored. So, he decided to go and watch a cricket match. He left his dog, Snoopy, in the house. Just after Sunny had left, a thief forced open the window. He entered the house and started searching the rooms. He took all the valuables, but when he was about to leave, he saw Snoopy standing in front of him, growling. The dog was about to pounce on him when Sunny returned home. He asked Snoopy to calm down and handed over the thief to the police, the fire specialists. Once there was a big haystack near a village and several small animals had made their homes in it. Among them were a snake, a tortoise, and a jackal. One day, all the three creatures were gossiping, when suddenly they heard some people shouting, "Fire! Fire!" The snake said that he knew 100 ways to deal with the fire, and the tortoise said that he knew 100 ways to deal with the fire, and the tortoise said that he knew 1,000 ways. When it was the jackal's turn, he said, "I know only one way to deal with the fire, and that is to run away." Saying this, the jackal ran away and other fire specialists got burnt in the fire. The flute player, Tom, was very brave and intelligent. One day, while playing, he went far into the forest. Just then a jackal saw him. He decided to eat the boy and came in his way. When Tom saw that he had no way to save himself, he said to the jackal, "Brother, I am not afraid of death, but I want to die peacefully. So, I want to play my flute and dance to its tune. Then you can eat me." The jackal permitted him. As soon as Tom started playing his flute, his dog came running. The dog saw the jackal and leapt on it. The jackal ran for his life. Tom returned home with his dog. The law of motion. John and James were neighbors and envy of each other. One day, John, while taking a walk on his terrace, saw smoke all around him. He looked down and saw that James was burning some leaves. He asked him not to do so. At this, James replied, "What can I do in this? Smoke always goes up." Then John brought a bucket full of water and poured it over the burning leaves. When James shouted at him, he said, "What can I do in this? Water always flows down." James had no answer to this. The true friend. Once there were two friends, a squirrel and a puppy. They used to live and play together. The squirrel was very sporty and always won the game. The puppy used to feel bad and thought that it was of no use. One day, it started raining heavily. The squirrel was in high spirits. He started doing antics, but suddenly lost his balance and fell in the rainwater. He called his friend, the puppy, for help. The puppy came to his rescue. The squirrel climbed on its back and reached a safe place. He thanked his friend for saving his life. Two goats. Once a goat was grazing on the grassy slope of a hill near a stream. It decided to taste the grass on the hills across. A narrow log served as a bridge across the stream. While crossing the bridge, it saw another goat coming from the other side. The bridge was so narrow that only one animal could cross the bridge at a time. The first goat said to the other, "Let me pass first." "You let me pass first," snapped the other goat. They started threatening each other and finally got into a terrible fight, so savagely that they lost their balance and fell into the stream. The other goats grazing on the hills saw this spectacle and learned a lesson. After a few days, two other goats faced the same problem. They happened to be on the bridge at the same time facing each other and unable to move further. One goat said to the other, "I'll sit down and you can step over my body. Thank you. Next time, I'll sit down and let you cross first." Thus both of them were able to cross the bridge safely. The valuable gift. John had a desire to have a bicycle of his own, but his father was not rich enough to afford the same. One day, when John was on his way to school, he saw a big boy on a cycle. As the boy was turning around a corner, the cycle skidded on a puddle of water and the boy fell down. John went to him and helped him to get up. The boy was badly injured. John first took him to a doctor and then helped him to reach his house. The boy belonged to a rich family and gladly presented the cycle to John. Two neighbors. Once there were two ladies who were neighbors. One of them was very fat while the other was very thin. They always kept fighting with each other. All other neighbors were fed up of their quarrels. One day, an elderly person said to both the ladies, "Why do you quarrel so much? Can't you be like the wheels of a two-wheeler where one wheel complements the other?" At this the thin lady said, "Yes, but how can a vehicle move smoothly when one tire is of a tractor and other of a cycle?" Everybody present there started laughing, hearing such a witty answer. Who will eat the hay? One day a camel, a goat, and an ass were walking down the road when they saw a bundle of hay lying roadside. But it was not sufficient for all three of them. The ass said, "This hay is not enough for all three of us. Let the oldest among us eat it." The goat and the camel agreed. But they started arguing about who was older among them. Suddenly, the camel started eating the hay. The goat shouted, "What are you doing?" At this the camel replied, "You just said that the oldest may eat it. Look at my knobby joints and wrinkled skin. So, I am the oldest." Saying this, the camel went ahead and ate the hay. Birbal caught the thief. Once a rich merchant's house was robbed. The merchant suspected that the thief was one of his servants. So he went to Birbal and mentioned the incident. Birbal went to his house and assembled all of his servants and asked that who stole the merchant's things. Everybody denied. Birbal thought for a moment, then gave a stick of equal length to all the servants of the merchant and said to them that the stick of the real thief will be longer by 2 inches tomorrow. All the servants should be present here again tomorrow with their sticks. All the servants went to their homes and gathered again at the same place the next day. Birbal asked them to show him their sticks. One of the servants had his stick shorter by 2 inches. Birbal said, "This is your thief, merchant." Later the merchant asked Birbal, "How did you catch him?" Birbal said, "The thief had already cut his stick short by 2 inches in the night, fearing that his stick will be longer by 2 inches by morning." Moral: truth will always prevail.